All right, folks, we have a little bit of breaking news here. It looks like the Saints have their guy, or at least they will after the Super Bowl. Adam Schefter here tweets the Saints are working to hire 49ers passing game specialist Klint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator. Per sources, Kubiak would join the Saints after he coaches his final game with the Niners in the Super Bowl. No deal can obviously be finalized until after the game. So, Klint Kubiak looks like he's going to be the next Saints OC. I am totally fine with this. A couple videos ago, I mentioned how of all the guys that were left as options, Klint Kubiak would be my favorite. Obviously, Clint is the son of Gary Kubiak, former Houston Texans head coach, former Broncos head coach, won a Super Bowl with them back in what was it, 2015, I believe. So, a guy who has called plays before, he called plays for the Minnesota Vikings in 2021, I believe, but he only did it for a year because after that year, Mike Zimmer was fired. He also took over play calling duties from Nathaniel Hackett in 2022 in Denver after, the Broncos offense was horrible all season. And Nathaniel Hackett, the then head coach, decided to give up play calling duties to Clint Kubiak. So, um, this is exciting, man. I'm excited for Clint to come in and get somebody from that Kubiak, Shanahan tree to work some magic with the offense. So Clint Kubiak, as you can see up here, a career history, started off as a quality control coach from 2010 at Texas A&M, then as a graduate assistant. Then he went to the Vikings in 2013 and 14 as the offensive quality control coach. Then he was the wide receivers coach at Kansas. Then went back to the NFL as the Denver Broncos offensive assistant until 2018. Then became the quarterbacks coach in Minnesota. And then after his dad retired in like February earlier that year before the season, that's when the Vikings made him the offensive coordinator. And then again, he went to the Broncos and is now about to coach in the Super Bowls for the San Francisco 49ers. So in 2021, when Kubiak was with Minnesota as the OC, they scored 25 points per game, which would have been good enough for 13th in the league. They were 12th in the league for yards per play with 5.7. And then if you look at 2021, Kirk Cousins, he had 4,221 yards. Let's see, 33 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, which is a really, really good ratio. One of the best of his career, really, in the top three for sure, along with let's see, where am I at? Along with a 103.1 quarterback rating, which again is among the top in his career. So obviously, Kirk Cousins was very efficient under Clint Kubiak. And this is some of their receiving stats from back in 2021 under Kubiak. Justin Jefferson, obviously a monster season. My God. What do you have? 108 receptions, 1,600 yards, over 1,600 yards. Okay. And then 10 receiving touchdowns. Adam Thielen, 726 yards. Obviously, this kind of started the drop off to his career. KJ Osborne, 655 yards. So, again, like, and if you look at Dalvin Cook down here, I know he probably had a monster year running the ball that year as well, because that is what the 49er, or excuse me, that's what Clint Kubiak and that offense, Shanahan offense, they want to do. They want to establish the run first and foremost, set things up for play action, bootlegs, stuff like that down the field. So let's just look up Dalvin Cook 2021 stats. See what we can pull up here. Let's see. Career stats. Okay, so yeah, 2021. He only played in 13 games, but he had 249 attempts, over 1,000 yards rushing, 4.6 yards average, which is pretty good, a long of 66, and he had 6 touchdowns. So overall, the guy, he knows how to coach offense. He's a little inexperienced, but he does have experience. So I don't mind it. Go with a young, offensive minded guy who can, potentially take the reins over at head coach after Dennis Allen is fired next year. I'm excited about it, man. This team does this to me every year. They make a move that gets me excited, only to break my heart in the end. So, and another thing I'll mention is after Nathaniel Hackett gave play calling duties to Clint Kubiak last year in Denver, their offense almost immediately got better. Like it actually did from the very first game, and then on to the end of the year, it was like night and day. Their offense, like they weren't good necessarily, but they showed immediate improvement, which is all you can ask for with that late of a season change. So overall, good hire. I'm excited. I know it'll still probably end up in heartbreak, but it is what it is. Appreciate you guys watching.